Hey guys, so this week we are talking about alternative story forms, which personally I think is pretty cool to see stories be posted in different ways, especially as a graphic design major, thinking of different, more interesting ways for people to see the news, get them more interested in it, keep them looking at it for longer. So specifically the assignment is that we are supposed to look at three different news sources that you provided with us and say if they would be better suited for an alternative story form or traditional. Uh, so starting off right away, the first story is about a high school student that has like a whole bunch of mental illnesses, and he went around his school and planted explosives and all this other thing with like all these locations of where he put them and how it's right next to a fireworks factory. Uh, so yeah, pretty like information heavy story. For that reason, I kind of chose the story to be put as more traditional. I just think it's better suited if it's anything else. It's just too much going on. If it was like an infographic or something, just too much. I guess if you really wanted to make it an alternative story form, you could maybe like do a bio of the kid or something like that. I also thought maybe a map of the school and all the locations where he put the bombs, and maybe in relation to how far the fireworks factory is, could be cool ways to maybe make it more alternative. But I still think this one would just be better traditional. Uh, the next story is about the city council election and how each candidate has like a different view on the local sewage system. For that reason, this is kind of just a simple, straightforward story, just politics, kind of showing how each candidate has different views on how things are going to get done. So this one would definitely be best suited for alternative story form. If you did it traditional, it's just too boring. No one's going to want to sit there and read through in a paragraph format what each candidate has to offer. I've personally like been through this when there's been elections and I'm like interested in figuring stuff out, and I like go to this website and there's like paragraphs. I'm like, I really don't feel like reading this. So for this one, I thought would be cool is like a chart or like a comparison chart or table, like having each candidate and exactly what their position is. So you can kind of go through and see sewage, like this is what this person's position is. This is what this person's position is. So I think that would make me, if I personally went on that website, I would be like, yeah, okay, so this is what this person exactly believes in. This is this person. Like it's just so much easier to read it that way than any other way. So we're also possibly thought maybe like a Q&A, like making up one of those just to like, oh, this candidate, this is what they're talking about, instead of just like this paragraph format, like I said before. And then for the last one, it was like more of a science article about like this breaking news of about like DNA and genetic code. Uh, with multiple sclerosis. Oh my god, I can't even pronounce that word, so I give up. So basically, just like a breakthrough. I definitely thought this one fits better with an alternative story form. I mean, this one's almost kind of like on the edge. Like you could just make it a normal, traditional story, and I would still totally read that. Like the topic itself is interesting enough to where I would sit there and read it. But this one could be like really cool as an infographic or like a diagram, like showing this like DNA strand and how exactly it's like working to fix this problem and all that stuff. So like, I don't know, like as I sit here and think about it, like I can just like imagine it in my head and I can just like see it looking really cool for the story. So yeah, like in all, like alternative story form is kind of like way of the future for news, because there's like so many repeated stories of the same thing nowadays that it's kind of a fight to see which one people are going to read, and if you have the most interesting looking one or the most uh, attractive looking one, I guess, people are going to want to read that over something else. So for example, if someone had like a news story that was a paragraph and someone had one that was like an infographic, I would totally want to read that one instead. So yeah, that's my view on alternative story forms. You guys have a good week. I'll see you later. Bye.